Hi Kirby fans, so today what we're going to be doing is looking at are Kirby's worth it and what it's going to cost you over the time of your ownership. So what we'll do is we'll get straight to it. Hi Kirby fans, welcome back to the channel. Again, those new to the channel, if you find you're getting value out of this content, then contemplate showing support by slapping that subscribe button. It's absolutely free. Ding that bell for notifications so you don't miss any upcoming episodes. Give us a big thumbs up and comment down below. I will reply to the comment, and if you like what you comment, I'll pin it to the video. Also, don't forget everything is shown in the video today. There will be links in the description below for the best place to get your Kirby products, so make sure you check those out. Well, on to today's videos. I had a bit of a request, and it's concerning owning a Kirby and what it's going to cost you over the time of ownership. Now, I've had a Kirby since 1994, so going on 27 years. And I'm going to run through a few things that you may have to replace or it may cost you. Now it's entirely up to you whether you take to a Kirby service centre or whether you do it yourself. Again, it's not like a plastic vacuum. It's not going to last you 5 years. It's going to last you 30, 40 years plus, if not more. And you're probably going to hand it down to your family. And as you can see behind me, I've got the Heritage 84 here. Now that's still running as new. So that shows you the quality you're going to get. And there's a lot of people out there that agree with me. You're going to even have the traditions that are out there. And the really, really old Kirby still going from the 1940s, 1930s. You know, Kirby have been going for way over 100 years now, and they're still out there. Yes, they're selling them door to door, but at the end of the day, that's the way they sell them, and that's probably the way they'll always sell them. It's the only way to really benefit and show you what the Kirby can actually do. You couldn't fit what they show in a demonstration into a shop. You've been there for quite a while, as people know who've bought Kirbys. So, again, you're not going to throw it away. It's going to last you 27 years, maybe more. At the moment, mine's 27 years old, and it's still running strong as the day I bought it. Now, how many Dysons or Bissels or anything like that would you have thrown away in that amount of time? We'll quickly run through some problems that may affect you and what it's going to cost you over time. Right, so first up, as we all know, and those who are new to the channel or new owners, you may not know, but you're going to want belts. Now, Kirby supply you with 3 belts, actually 4. You get one on the Kirby, one in your Shampoo system, so 3 to 5, and then you get a pack of 3 in with your pack and your pack of bags. Now, over time, these are going to wear. Now, I normally go through about maybe 2 a year, maybe 3 if I'm lucky. But at the end of the day, I find the best way to compensate these and to make them last longer is obviously wind your belt off. If you're not going to be using that Kirby for a couple of days, then wind the belt off, because what's going to happen, and I have shown this in a previous video, they will stretch over time. So while it's sat there, it's rubber at the end of the day, and it's going to stretch and it's going to sit in situ. Now you're going to lose efficiency because it's stretched. Now what you want is that Kirby belt to be nice and tight to actually run that Kirby and get that brush roller running efficiently. I mean, these are 10 a penny. They're probably about $1 a belt, if that. In America and in Australia, I think they're about $15 for a pack of 3 from Kirby. But I will put a link in the description below of where you can actually get everything a lot cheaper than you would actually buy it from Kirby. So make sure you check those out. They will be in the description below. So you're going to need belts, and you're going to need belts for the life of your Kirby. That's a given. So the next thing you're going to need are disposable bags. Now these come in packs of 3, packs of 6. Again, they are linked in the description below. Now your bags are going to fill up over time. Now if you're a new Kirby owner, obviously your bag's going to fill up quite quickly because you've got all that dirt that Dyson or Bissell or Vax has actually beat to death into the carpet, and you want to get all that out. Now what you're going to find over time as well is your bags are going to get a lot heavier. First of all, they're going to fill up with all the carpet, purely because that sand and grit has been cutting away at those fibres, and that's in the carpet, and that's ready to come out, purely because your Dyson hasn't been cleaning it out and you've been walking on it and cutting away those fibres. But what you'll notice over time is your bags will start to get a lot heavier then, because they're filling up with just dirt and not taking away your carpet. Again, with the bags, a lot of people don't prefer bags, they prefer the canister vacuums. Now, the issue I've got with canister vacuums is you're emptying that dust, and that dust is carcinogenic. At the end of the day, you don't want to be breathing it in. I don't want to be going outside to empty a container in a bin outside and get covered in a cloud full of dust when the wind's blowing. So the easiest thing with the bags, you take the bags off, roll it over. You're not going to risk getting carcinogenic, cancerous dust for starters. and you're going to live a lot healthier lifestyle at the end of the day. Now, there's a lot of people out there with asthma, and one of the biggest things with the Kirby is because of the filtration system, and you're not emptying a canister constantly. You're not risking those really tiny dust particles going down and being breathed in by your family or you, because it's all contained in a disposable bag. And so as for bags, I think I go through maybe 3 a year if I'm lucky. If you've got a pet, they're obviously going to fill up more. Also, next up, what you're going to need is shampoo. Now, I can't remember the last time I shampooed my carpets because we don't wear shoes in the house, and my dog actually stays on the bamboo floor, so she's really banned. So the only time I really need to give it a good shampoo is if I want to freshen the carpet up. But other than that, you're not going to need a lot of shampoo unless you've got pets that are walking or lying on your carpets and making them smell. You're not traipsing in all that dirt because you've got a Kirby that's vacuuming it out consistently every day. So you haven't got that to worry about. But shampoo wise, I'd say probably a bottle, maybe 2 a year, depending how big your house is. I'll go through one of these. If I was to do my whole house, one of these would probably do all the bedrooms. So it'd last quite a long time. Right, so the next thing that you're gonna need to be changing is your fan. Now, this isn't something you're gonna be changing every 12 months. It might be 2 years, it might be 3. Just depends how you use your Kirby and what you actually suck up. So obviously you're not gonna suck up screws or bricks. If you do that, yes, it's gonna damage the fan. If you've got pets, what I find with my dog is it tends to blend into the fan. So probably every 2.5 years, maybe 3, I have to change the fan because the hair's in there and it's gonna start affecting the efficiency of the Kirby. But these are around $10 to $15, so they're really, really cheap, and they come as a kit. And again, there are links in the description below for the best place to get them from. Well, those of you who've been with the channel a long time, you know I've got a video on how to change the fan, I've got videos on how to change the belt, and I've got videos on how to change your bag. Now, Kirby has standard maintenance procedures. Every 12 months, if you pay for that service, they will fit you a new fan automatically, they will fit you a new belt, and they will even fit you a nice new clean bag. But you are paying for that, so it's all up to you if you want to take it to your Kirby service centre and get that done, or you can call them in the home and get them done, or you can actually do it yourself. What's the next big item, and this isn't something you're going to be changing every 2, every 3, every 4, even every 5 years, is your brush roll. Now, I will show you the head and what happens with the Kirby brush rolls. There are different settings on there. Now, they did this from the G3 up until the G7, so I'll quickly show you on the back. So what you've got is 3 different settings here. Now, what the Kirby advise you is when you first get your Kirby, obviously it's set to number 1, and I haven't got a video on this as well, so I'll just quickly show you how I test mine. And what you need to do is get your Kirby with the belt wound off and just put a ruler across there. Now, as you can see, that isn't moving, okay? Now, what should happen is those brush rolls should stick past this ruler at least 3mm or 1/8 of an inch. As your Kirby brush roll starts to wear, then that's going to come flush and it will slide with ease. If it slides with these, then what you're going to do is take it out and wind it out down to number 2, and then so on, and then down to number 3 when it wears again. Now, as you can see, there are settings on the back there. Now, we've got an Avalir one here. Now, Kirby have done away with that sticker, so it's not actually there. So it's something people don't know about. Now, I'm not sure whether Kirby still promote this in the demonstrations. Like I said, I don't work for Kirby. I used to work for them back in 1992, 93 when I used to sell the G3, but I'm not a Kirby representative at the end of the day. So I'll just show the product from a consumer's point of view, and it's worked for me for the past 28 years. So that is just another item that you will have to change over time as it wears. It's not made from cheap plastic, so it's not going to get damaged and gouged. It's made from a really good hardwood. They're really, really strong, and they've got really good bearings in the end. So they're going to last a lot longer than your Dysons and your Vacs and your Bissels and things like that. And as I've shared in other videos, these aren't adjustable for deep pole carpet. You've got the height adjustment for that. You do not need to adjust your brush roll. If you're going to whack it down to number 3 setting, you're going to end up burning belts, and that's a reason why. Again, when you put it back in, if you've changed your belt, just make sure that you've got number 1 on this side and number 1 on that side when you slot it in. So as well as that, in years to come, if you order a new brush roll, then just make sure you order the correct one. Now, this is an oblique brush roll, and you can fit this in the G5 up until the Avalir. Anything before that, the G3 or the G4, then you're not going to fit in a bleach brush roll. If you want to put a bleach brush roll in those, then you will have to change the head system on that. And I will put an icon above linking to a video that I did on that. Now, some of the things that you may lose or that may wear over time. Now, these take about 10 years to rot. Now, these are out of the shampoo system. And you can buy these 10 a penny. And they're really, really cheap. They're probably about 20 cents each. And also, these tend to get lost. Now, these get stuck, and I have shared this in another video. They do get stuck in the shampoo hose. So if you can't find yours, just double check it's not in the shampoo hose, but you can buy replacement ones of these, because these are what create the suds on your shampoo system. Right, so the next thing that you're gonna wanna change over time, and this is years down the line, and my G4 still runs fine, but I've had quite a few of these, and that is that. Now, this is the exhaust port that goes in the Centria, in the Avalir, and also the G7, so I think it's from the G5 onwards. So from G5 onwards, these were put in. Now, what happens is people don't get the bag aligned properly, and they rank it round, and what it does is it damages the rubber seal. Now, if you notice when you put your bag on, if it's really loose, then it's really probably one of these that needs replacing. If that isn't worn, then obviously it's going to be the shoe for the bag that's been damaged. But again, these are 10 a penny. So if you haven't got a proper seal there, if it's, like I say, it slots on, it works, but it's not sealing, you can hear it, or if it's moving a little bit, then 9 times out of 10, you just need a new one of those. And these are about $3, if that. So next, as we go on the machine, so we're looking 20 years into the future, I had to change my wheels. Now, I haven't got any new wheels, I've got old ones here, but I had to change the wheels on my G4. Now, if you've got a wooden floor or a laminate floor, then what you want to do, you don't need your Kirby in drive to vacuum that. It will push along really easy. If you've got it in drive, what it might tend to do is wheel spin, and then you're going to wear away the rubber on your wheels. I have got a video on how to fix these as well. Also, your front wheels, the only way these sort of get damaged is if your Kirby's been pushed around outside in the garage and on concrete floors, then that rubber there will start to wear over time, and you might want to change these if they're getting little gouges in them. But if you're using them on carpet, they never wear. I've still got my original G4 front wheels on my Kirby. All right, so the next one is quite a big one, and it's a lead. Now, for some reason, the Centrias and the Avalirs tend to break here. They tend to split. Now, again, I did a video requesting that Kirby's look into this because it's something they need to sort. So if you're looking at buying a new lead, you're looking around $70 in Australia, and you're looking around, I think it's about £25 from the UK. Again, there will be links in the description below for the best place and cheapest place to get them rather than buying them straight from Kirby. All right, so over time, if you've got an older Kirby, what tends to happen is these tend to break. Now, I don't know how people break them. I've never broke one myself, but they do get broken. I have bought Kirby's that have got broken ones of these. Now, they're quite easy to replace. It's just a screw in the center. So you just peel the sticker off and replace it. I have got a video showing you how to do that. Now, what happened with the G5 onwards, and maybe the later G4s, I'm not too sure about the G4s, but this is a later G4 replacement. It's just made it easy to wind the belt on and off. So from the G5 and the G6, they all had the connection on the bottom like this one. When Kirby moved to the G7, they actually made it one a bit thicker and moved it to the top, which made life a lot easier for winding that belt on. So as you can see, this one pulls from there and that one pulls from there. So you've probably got more chance of snapping that off if you're a bit aggressive with it, and the belt's actually stiff if it's a new belt. I'm not too sure, but that's probably how people break them, or they probably tread on them. So those are replacement parts. And as you can see with the Kirby, there's loads of replacement parts. It's not like the Dyson where they're going to discontinue the parts. Most of the parts are available and interchangeable for your Kirbys. So you're not buying a product that's going to be discontinued and you're like, oh, I can't get this, I can't get that. Like you get with the Dysons, where you can't get the filters, you can't get the new brush roll, stuff like that. These are generic, and Kirby have kept it that way for that reason. So if you've got a Kirby that's even 30, 40 years old, you can still get parts from it from Kirby, i.e. your brush roll and things like that. What's the next consumables? And I've never had one of these wear out, but you can buy them. Now this is your duster brush. It's made from horsehair, so it's not going to scratch your TV. If they wear over time, then you can buy new ones of these, and I think they're about $1 as well, maybe $2. They're really, really cheap, and all they do is you twist them off and off they come, put your new one on, twist it, and it's back on, ready to dust, and get the dust off those dusty surfaces. Right, so while we're on accessories, Kirby have thought of everything. Now these, I've never had any break apart from my G4, and that was literally because I trod on it. So, if they split, as you can see that one is, you can get replacement parts and they just slot in. And now I have got a video on how to change these, and the really easy, it's just a case of heating it up with a hairdryer, popping it out and popping the new one in. Right, so the next accessory you may have issues with is your floor tool. Now these literally pop out like so. Now, what happens over time, if you've got dogs or cats, these tend to fill up with hair. You can get replacement wheels, but if you take them out weekly and clean them, they work quite well. Again, the brush may wear, you can get a replacement brush for it. You can even get the whole part that's replaceable. So they thought of everything. Everything is replaceable and nothing is really discontinued. And down to the final few things, what you've got here is a seal. Now this is for the front of the G5 onwards. Kirby changed it. You have got like a little O-ring seal that goes into the G3 and the G4. You can get replacement ones of those if they wear, and you can get replacement ones of these. Now these are just self-adhesive, and I have got a video on how to change these if you need to replace them. The only ways these really get damaged is if people have tried to fit the G3 or the G4 attachment hose on there, because the gap is a little bit smaller, and it will damage this and it won't clip on properly. It'd be really, really stiff and probably damage this rubber. But other than that, they last a really, really long time. Right, now still on the accessories, you can get replacement ones of these as well. Now these don't tend to get damaged unless you're pressing down on it. You don't need to press down with this, and I have got a video on how to use these correctly. But you can get replacement one of these if your brush roll starts to make a noise. These tend to get clogged up over time. Now what I tend to do is give it a clean. Every time I've cleaned it with it, I clean it out and I put a bit of silicone spray on there just to lubricate that and keep it running smooth. Now what you can see is that actually moves up and down, so that is going to wear over time, and it is going to get a bit of dust and debris in there that's probably going to make that start squealing. So if you notice it started squealing, these are sealed units, you can't take them apart, you do have to buy a new one, but they're not that expensive. I think they're around $10–15 again. Really, really cheap, and there are links in the description below of where to get them from. So you literally buy one of these. When you slot it in, push it in and you twist it until it locks in place, and then back on you go. You can buy a complete new zip brush if you need one, but you can just buy the replacement centerpiece. Now surprisingly enough, Kirby still make the bags for the G3, the G4 and onwards, so you can get outer replacement bags. Now the only way you're ever going to damage this is, i.e. if you haven't got your bag fitted correctly and you're getting dog hair and debris in your bag, obviously it's going to damage it because it's not made for that type of debris. The internal bag is made for that. Or if you tend to catch it on your architrave or anything, you might get a little nick in there, so you might want to get one of these and get it replaced and keep your Kirby looking nice and new. So you can get replacement one of these. The only reason I've changed mine again is after 27 years, it had a little tiny mark where it had been caught, I don't know on what, but that's why I changed my bag. And finally, the last thing you can get replaced if you want, it's entirely up to you. Now I've got a brand new bumper for my G4, purely because my partner used it occasionally, and I'm pretty sure she was as blind as a bat. Because you don't need to bash it off the skirting board, you don't need to. And that's the only way they get damaged, is when people run them along the skirting board. It tends to rub the rubber off or rub the sticker out the middle. Other than that, if you use your vacuum sensibly and don't bash it up the walls, I mean, at the end of the day, you've got the Rolls Royce of vacuums. Why smash it up the wall when you've paid, some people have paid like $4 for these, so why smash it up a wall at the end of the day? They're not hard to push. Yes, the tech drive can run away with you, but they're not hard to push. So you can get all those new parts and all replacements for your Kirby over the life of your Kirby, so you haven't got to worry about skipping it in the bin because there's non-consistent parts have been discontinued. That's why Kirby tend to stick with the same sort of model, so everything is replaceable with newer parts. If you want to keep your Kirby clean, then I tend to use this, and I'm not sponsored by Maguire's or even Kirby, but that's what I use on mine. I use Silvo to start with, and then I use this aluminium polish to clean it up, or you can even use also salt. That will keep your Kirby nice and clean. I'd say you could probably do it every month, just a little light coat, buff it until it turns black, and then polish it up. And one more issue that people have is the drive and neutral. Now these tend to pop out. I don't know why, like I've said in previous videos, I don't know if Kirby have moved to a cheaper way of doing it, but these tend to come apart. You'll get a clicking noise, or these actually come off the shaft and the whole thing pops out your Kirby. Now you can get replacement ones of these if you want. There are links in the description below again for the best place to get your Kirby products, or you can replace it, or you can repair it. Now I have got a repair video, and I will put an all card above linking to that, so you can either push it back on and then fix it with some crazy glue, which is what I do, or you can just replace it. It's entirely up to you. But these are around $10 to $12. They're not a lot of money. They're really, really cheap for what they are. But again, I've suggested that Kirby replace these under warranty. Whether they listen to my videos, I'm not too sure, but we'll see what comes off that video and whether it gets recommended. So if you haven't seen that video, obviously make sure you check it out. I'll put an all card above. Make sure you share it so it can actually reach Kirby and they can actually look at the issues that we've got with our vacuums. Right, so I hope you found this video really informative. I just needed to share a lot of things that are replaceable on the Kirby and what it's going to cost you over time. Again, if you look after it and you maintain it weekly, and I've got plenty of videos on this channel for you to do that, it's not going to cost you an absolute fortune. You can have your Kirby maintained every year by Kirby. That's entirely up to you. Like I said, you will get a new bag, belt, and fan fitted within that, and I think they even change the bearings if they need changing, or they re-grease everything. So it's entirely up to you whether you go down that process or whether you use more videos and maintain your Kirby yourself. So again, those new to the channel, if you find you're getting value out of this content, then contemplate showing support by slapping that subscribe button. It's absolutely free. Ding that bell for notifications so you don't miss any upcoming episodes. Give us a big thumbs up and comment down below. I will reply to the comment, and if you like what you comment, I'll pin it to the video. So what we'll do is cut to any bloopers, and I'll catch you in the next one. As it goes, as your Kirby belt, I mean, as you can see behind me, I've got a vacuum here from 1984, and it's still running as new